Over the years, we've seen some crazy body transformations in the NBA. Some players go from skinny to jacked, and others from skinny to fat. These bodily transformations also usually translate to a change in a player's career. So welcome to NBA Zone. In today's video, I'll be going over the 10 most shocking NBA body transformations. At number 10, we have DeAndre Jordan. DeAndre Jordan would play college basketball at Texas A&M. While he was there, DeAndre's physique looked something like this. Then during his rookie year, he would get slightly bigger. DeAndre wouldn't really start to show real progression in his size until the 2013 season. Not only would DeAndre bulk up even more, but his numbers would increase too. And by the 2017 NBA season, DeAndre Jordan would reach the physique that we would see him at today. That 2017 season would be DeAndre Jordan's best NBA season, as he would put up 12.7 points per game, 13.8 rebounds per game, and would lead the league in field goal percentage while being an all-star for the LA Clippers. He was clearly a beneficiary of his body transformation. So now let's take a side-by-side look. As from the year 2008 to the year 2019, DeAndre Jordan's body went from this to this. At number 9, we have Kevin Garnett. Kevin Garnett would be drafted with the 5th pick in the 1995 NBA draft by the Minnesota Timberwolves. In his rookie year, Kevin Garnett's body wasn't exactly what you would call NBA ready. He would come into the NBA looking like this. Over the next few years, Kevin would work harder and harder on improving his body. This would lead to KG putting up the best numbers of his career for the Minnesota Timberwolves in 2004. That season, KG would average 24.2 points and a league-leading 13.9 rebounds per game while being named league MVP. This is what KG's body looked like during his MVP season. As you can see, there was already a lot of progress made from his rookie year. But even more progress would be made, and by the 2008 season, KG's body would be in peak form. From the year 1995 to the year 2008, Kevin Garnett's body would go from this to this. At number 8, we have Jerome James. Jerome James may be a player that most casual NBA fans do not recognize. Well, you'll never forget him after this one. Jerome James was selected with the 36th pick in the 1998 NBA draft to the Sacramento Kings. He would begin his career with a body that would look something like this. After a few knee injuries and a short stint overseas, Jerome would begin playing for the Seattle Supersonics. This is when Jerome would have his best season in the league. He would average a less than impressive 5.4 points and 4.2 rebounds a game for the Sonics. After that season, Jerome's body would start to take a turn for the worse. His numbers would only go down from there, but his weight would only go up. Jerome James finished his NBA career above 300 pounds. He literally earned the name Big Snacks during his career. So from the year 1998 to the year 2009, Jerome James went from this to this. At number 7, we have Shawn Kemp. Shawn Kemp is one of the highest risers and greatest dunkers of all time. But at one point, Shawn Kemp couldn't get as high. Let's see why that was. Shawn Kemp was selected with the 17th pick in the 1989 NBA draft by the Seattle Supersonics. In Shawn Kemp's rookie year, he would be slightly wiry and maybe not exactly NBA ready. But by Kemp's prime, his body would finally develop and he would look about like this during his prime. With that body during his best season in 1996, Shawn Kemp would average 19.6 points and 11.4 rebounds per game while being named an all-star for the Seattle Sonics. Shawn Kemp was definitely benefiting from the body that he had worked for during his prime. But later in his career, Kemp would gain just a bit of weight, and it would ground him for the remainder of his career. From the year 1989 to the year 2003, Shawn Kemp's body would go from this to this. At number 6, we have LeBron James. LeBron James is constantly praised for having a tank-like body, but this hasn't always been the case for LBJ. LeBron James is surrounded by a maximum level of hype coming into his NBA career. One thing that was discussed was the fact that LeBron James was just coming out of high school, so his body might not be developed for the NBA. This was the case, but it didn't really seem to affect the rookie LeBron. LBJ's body would look like this his rookie year. He would quickly bulk up though, and would develop the body that we know him to have today. LeBron takes care of his body better than any athlete has ever done, and last year in Cleveland was proof. LeBron would have his greatest statistical season in the NBA at the age of 33. He would average 27.5 points, 9.1 assists, and 8.6 rebounds per game on 54% shooting. Once again, this can be accredited to LeBron's phenomenal work ethic and dedication to his health and nutrition. You'll see that here as we look at the difference between a rookie LeBron and LeBron today. From the 2003 season to the 2019 season, LeBron James went from this to this. At number 5, we have Raymond Felton. Raymond Felton was selected with the 5th pick in the 2005 NBA draft. Coming into the NBA, Raymond Felton had a decent build for a rookie. He would enter the league with this body. While he was in decent shape, Raymond Felton would have some decent NBA seasons. In his best NBA season, Raymond Felton would put up 15.5 points and 8.3 assists per game for the New York Knicks and the Denver Nuggets. It wasn't until Raymond Felton let his body transform into something terrible that his career would ultimately begin to fall. Beginning around the 2014 season, Raymond Felton's numbers would begin to plummet, and this is why. Raymond Felton began to gain a lot of weight, and it's been a noticeable difference every year. Here's Raymond Felton in 2017. Now let's take a look at Felton's transformation. From the year 2005 to the year 2019, Raymond Felton went from this to this. At number 4, we have Shaquille ONeal. Shaq is not only one of the most monstrous players in NBA history, but one of the most monstrous people in human history. Shaq was drafted with the first pick in the 1992 NBA draft by the Orlando Magic. When he first entered the league, Shaq was built like your typical NBA player. This photo right here shows Shaq in his rookie form. But Shaq would quickly grow and become an absolute monster. By his prime, he was seen as the most physically dominant player of all time. During the 2000 season, arguably Shaq's best season ever, he would put up 29.7 points and 13.6 rebounds a game for Los Angeles Lakers while being named league MVP. Shaq can accredit most of his dominance to his size. During the 2000 NBA season, Shaq weighed in at 7'1", 315 pounds. This is what that looks like. By the end of his career, Shaq's body would take a slight turn for the worse, as a lot of his muscle would become fat, and Shaq would play with this physique. So let's take a look at Shaq's transformation. From the year 1992 to the year 2000, Shaq went from this to this. At number 3, we have Marc Gasol. Now this is a case that most people probably aren't aware of. If you just look at Marc Gasol through his NBA years, his body hasn't really changed much. So why is he on this list? Well, Marc Gasol would play his high school ball at Lausanne Collegiate School. During his time in high school, Marc Gasol looked like this. He literally looked like the kid at school who asked for everyone's Twinkies during lunchtime. This wouldn't last long though, as Marc Gasol would definitely glow up. By the time Marc got to the NBA, his body looked like so. During his best NBA season, Marc would put up 19.5 points per game for the Grizzlies, and he would be named an All-Star. During that season, Marc looked like this. That's pretty much the physique that Gasol is rocking today, but damn, the difference between him in high school and him today is insane. Let's take a look back as we see how from high school to today, Marc Gasol went from this to this. At number 2, we have Boris Diaz. Boris Diaz was one of the more interesting cases of a player's body transformation. He would be selected with the 21st pick in the 2003 NBA draft. Coming into his rookie season, Boris was seen as a pretty athletic big man, and his body would look something like this. Pretty normal build for an NBA rookie, and there's really not much to see there, right? Well, things would definitely change. At first, things would change for the better, as Diaz would put on some more muscle. But as time went on, Diaz swelled up like a twisted ankle. By the 2013 season, Boris Diaz would come into the season looking like this. This caused coach Greg Popovich to take action, and the team actually put a clause in his contract that would grant him an extra $500,000 if he didn't gain 5 pounds in the next 6 months of that NBA season. Popovich would also leave him in during blowout games so that Diaz could, quote, lose some weight. That's how out of control it got. So from the 2003 season to the 2017 season, Boris Diaz went from this to this. At number 1, we have Giannis Antetokoumpou. Giannis is one of the most dominant players in today's NBA, and you can credit this to Giannis' literal body of work. He's morphed his body in a way that's almost unheard of. Giannis would be drafted by the Milwaukee Bucks in the 2013 NBA draft. Coming into the league, Giannis looked like he was deprived of food for most of his life. Obviously, I'm exaggerating, but if you take a look at his body coming into the league, you'll know what I mean. Giannis would start his career somewhat slow because of this, but as soon as Giannis began to put work into his body, he would explode and become one of the best players in the NBA. He's currently one of the top MVP candidates in the league this season, and averaging 27 points and 12.5 rebounds per game this season for the Bucks. This is what Giannis' body looks like this year. So from the year 2013 to the year 2019, Giannis went from this to this. So that's going to do it for today's video. What are your guys' thoughts on these body transformations? Let us know in the comment section below. Also, if you enjoyed this video, then drop a like and consider subscribing to the channel. Anyways, I'll see you next time, and thanks for watching.